about 3 inches, and the other one was 2, and my wife says that's plenty, so this should... Oh, I get what she means now. Okay, huh. Warning, the following contains actions performed by idiots. What you're about to view should not be taken as factual or educational. For further questions, please refer to your Google. First things first, we have to choose a winner for this steering wheel via a random number generator on the Google. Got orders 42 through 74 is who bought shirts in the time period that I gave you. 42, 74, generate. 64, order number 64, which is Chris G from Haynesville, Kansas. Sweet, so congratulations, dudes. I re-cleared this. I wanted it to look real nice, so I scuffed it up and wet sand. Come off of your hook, bruh. I'm trying to show the people what you got going on here. I scuffed it up and then did another 3 coats of clear. So there are 6 total coats of clear on this thing. As you can see, it's nice and shiny. Look at the steering wheel, not my face. Nice and shiny. So I'll probably give this another day to harden before I ship it out. Ask me how I know to do that. I've not waited long enough in the past, and that has resulted in catastrophic wastes of time. That was kind of fun doing that, and you guys went to town buying shirts. So what I'd like to do is like order a new precision turbo and give that to you guys. Let me know what you guys would like me to purchase, and then we'll continue doing this because you guys bought shirts, so that helps us here, and then being able to give you guys something is cool. Without further ado or any more of my jibber jabber, let's get into what we are doing in this video, which is some Jeep Vet stuff. 2 bug videos ago, I stole the turbo off the Jeep to put it on the bug, and I didn't show you what we're putting on the Jeep. So let me show you that first. Fair? Sound good? Okay, good, because you don't have a choice. That's what we're doing. So this, according to sources, is a brand new Borg Warner. The housing is aftermarket. It is, was it Borg Warner or wholesale? Yeah, Borg Warner. It's real. It's just this housing was broken or something, and so bought a different one or some noise. But it is pretty brand spanking new, and it is significantly bigger. The wheel's not huge compared to that wheel, but it is bigger. This is a 67. That's probably maybe a 70 or a 72. I don't know. It's a better turbo for a V8 for sure. The back housing is, that's a 4-inch V-band, and this is a 3. So unfortunately, I gotta cut that and switch that up a little bit. This flange is the same. Wastegate is not affected. Do have to, so I had to weld this onto that turbo to make that work, so we'll have to lop that. And just now the hood doesn't shut even though we cut a giant hole, which hurt my soul. Last thing I remember doing was I made this union so I didn't have to spend another $200 on the fuel line. I have to plumb the water to air intercooler. This is the radiator. That there is the heat exchanger for the intercooler. I purchased a manifold, a turbo manifold for Dennis in exchange for him wiring up Holly. As soon as I get my work done here, it's gonna do that, and then there's a couple things left on the heads that he has to do, but that'll take all of 20 minutes, and then that'll probably take him a day. We also have to add a bung for blow-off valve on the intercooler piping and buy clamps, because at the time that I bought those couplers, I did not have money to buy clamps because everything's expensive. So that's what we got to do. I'm gonna get to work and I'll let you know what we get done. So luckily, I just ordered a bunch of 4-inch V-bands for my diesel, and in what I'm doing, I only need certain ends of certain ones, and so therefore I have an extra clamp and an extra flange, so that worked out well. That is perfect. To refresh your memory here, I'm really proud of this. I made a turbo mount. Snugs up on there, bolts real nice, and it's got 2 places for the flange to thread through. I bent that myself. Can you believe it? Look at that. We're gonna cut it right here. There is a little bit of an angle on these, so I'm not really sure how it's gonna line up, but we're just gonna cut it here, save this piece for another day, and then I still have plenty of this 4-inch, so we're just gonna make a couple cuts and make it fit, and then this will be boom bang done, and then we will move on. So the turbo now sits almost dead flush, but it's just a little bit taller. Look at this, look at this. Oh, thank goodness I did extra work a long time ago And now, hopefully, all we have to do is just make a puzzle out of these pie cuts and we are golden. I was just gonna tack this with the MIG welder, but my friend Max would be upset at me. He calls that cheating. So here we are. You're welcome. I hope you're really happy that I am putting in extra efforts for the opinion of a man. That just sounds bad. Okay, I'm gonna tack this now. Oh, the gas. The problem is this, when this comes off, it's gonna move. So I really want to kind of tack it all over, which makes this suck even more. So Max, this is for you. Okay. I tell you what, look at that fitment without the V-band even being on, boy. Huh? What you got? Those are tight. That's exactly where it was. You could tell because I scratched the body. Boom. A little bit more consistency in the welds. It was definitely kind of weird because this thing was sticking straight up in the air, so it was kind of awkward in some spots, but you can almost tell between those welds and that 3 months ago and that's now. I guess there's something of a difference. Lots of blueberry going on, lots of blueberry, you know, a little bit of okay, this is stupid. So that fits really well. I'm gonna put it on now. Okay, what on earth am I doing? Glasses are on my head. Okay, we're gonna cut stuff. That's all right. That's a terrible idea. That's a bad idea. We're gonna do it anyways. At first I felt really stupid because I couldn't figure out what I did previously, but I just figured it out and I still feel pretty stupid, but I know why I did it, and so let me catch up to speed. So that fuel line down there, that's out of focus, that thing, that is the feed line, which this is the feed line here, right? And I had the fuel filter mounted right here, nice like, but that won't reach. And I was like, why on earth have I done this? And I didn't want to buy more fuel line, and I have enough of this to basically redo this line and put this down there so that will reach. But now I have to remake this bracket thing that I had going right here, and it's gonna be a little pain in the buttocks.
that's looking good though. I like how that turned out. We got some other little things, but overall it's looking good. So this beautiful piece of science right here, I'm gonna cut it. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Hang on, I got something weird to show you. Look at all these little things. You guys remember maybe a month or so ago, I did like 10 of these. They're little stash cans that this gal sells at, I don't know, I don't even know what kind of group meetings you would sell these at. And I respect entrepreneurship in any shape and form, but this is pretty wild. There's 80 of them. I have to dip 80 of these things. That's why they're all hot glued to these boards. So I only have to actually dip, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But yeah, they're weird when they're all black like this. It's kind of creepy. But yeah, they're gonna be a bunch of hippie colors. They're little mushrooms if you can't tell. But just thought I'd show you that now because it looks kind of weird and alien-like.
A mini me. Friend of me, any me. All these nick just wanna be a mini me. All these nick just wanna be a mini me. All these nick just wanna be a mini me. Friend of me, any me. All these nick just wanna be a mini me. All these nick just wanna be a mini me.
In efforts to make your shop smell better, do not use a propane torch to light your candle. Got it? In all honesty, I have no idea what I was doing. So I made this union to make the return line longer. And I'm looking at this, and you don't want, I don't know why, I mean, I know why, because it's overseas, but you don't want the return to be shooting back into here and then aerating all the fuel from what I read on Google. And so I'm gonna take this, stick it right here. So I don't really know if I made this longer with whatever, with this thing so that I can reach up to these, but I'm glad I realized that I was an idiot and now maybe I'm 3% smarter than I was. So this basically that I welded on is gonna sit right here, which is where the roll bar goes, and I don't want that. So I'm gonna cut this off of both sides, move it to here, and then I'm gonna cut this and then shove it right there and weld the bung on, and then we're gonna cut these off and weld them shut. And then this and the fuel line should basically be done. Got a couple of these hangers mounted on here. I'm giving it a little bit of slack for the time being until we figure out exactly where all that is going. But that turned out basically exactly how I wanted it, so that's nice. So we will do what I just explained on this, and then we'll have a better idea of where everything's gonna go, and then we can make room for that guy. I'm thinking that's gonna go somewhere here-ish, because that's kind of all the room we got. So we'll do that, and then we'll figure that out. Yay. Goodness. All right, return line on, that moved back, so that'll clear that. Yay, cool, super exciting. One thing I'm not a fan of, and if you remember, we did the fuel lines this way because NHRA rules say fuel lines can't pass by the clutch without a shield, and it's basically gonna be either a lot of money or really hard to make a shield back there. And so I ran the fuel lines up this way, made this little thing so the serpentine belt and the fuel lines don't ever meet each other. What I don't like is how close fuel lines are to wastegate, and so I'm kind of thinking getting another piece of aluminum, just making like a little heat shield right here to separate these. Kind of sort of made like a little heat shield box-ish for the wastegate, so we'll see how this fits. That's lined up about like such. Tuck back there nicely. Looks like I got a little bit of bending to do with my fancy bender tool here. Okay, it's almost there. This is kind of unnecessarily tall, so I'm gonna trim this a little bit and then arch this top lip, maybe like an inch of it, arch that back so that where this rests is gonna be nice and smooth like that. We'll kind of navigate where all this is gonna actually finally wind up. Let's see what extra slack we have under there. We are gonna be in business. I've never been so excited about something so redundant. Change of plans, boys. As our channel name explains, I'm not super intelligent, and anything that I do that looks impressive is only because I've screwed it up over and over and over until we get a result we like, because I'm stubborn. I really thought this was gonna work out, but I really don't want the fuel cell to be here just hanging out with axles and a diff and a transmission underneath it waiting to go boom and cause a fire. So we're gonna have to put a floor there, and it all just seems kind of counterintuitive to have a floor right here and nothing right there so that can get airflow. Therefore, I don't want to put that there anymore. Therefore, we got to come up here to El Frente, and way back when, because, you know, I just explained I learned stuff, I built a radiator mount that could probably hold the front of a semi-truck off the ground, and I'm wondering if I revamp this and move it around a little bit, if I'm able to make a little bit more room so we can put the heat exchanger up front like a normal person. There's really not much left. It looks like chaos, but there's really not much. It's just I need to organize my thoughts, and we'll get there. If you guys have any suggestions before I get too far into any of this, now would be a great time to let me know. I finally brought the LS Colorado down here, so once the Jeep is wrapped up, I got some parts I'm building up for this thing, which I've missed due to time and being busy and such. But this poor girl has just been sitting in my garage at the house waiting for me to do anything to it, and I've slowly, I don't know what turbo we're using yet, we have options, but I have this turbo manifold here for it, so we just have to make a pipe to go from this side to that side where the turbo will be, Little things, but this will be like a quick, cool, you know, 450, 500 horsepower street truck, and then we'll get crazier as the time goes on. But I really want something I could drive on the street and have a good time with and kind of get weird, and we can make it look nice and be creative. Like I kind of want to put a giant hole in the tailgate and make the exhaust come out there like a Bopmobile. Just weird stuff that I can do, and I can actually go and drive it instead of having to wait all winter for the snow to pass so that we can drive stuff like this. So that's what we have on the agenda for the next several weeks. Again, thank you guys for watching. I'll ship your steering wheel out. That was convenient. I didn't mean to do this, but here we are. There's a lot of work to do everywhere. All right, see you guys.